Hey guys, this is Anjali and you are watching Tech Dad. In this video, we are going to compare between Xiaomi Poco M2 Pro versus Samsung Galaxy A21s. And we will discuss which one is better in camera, performance, display, body of the devices, features, communication chips and about the prices. And in the end of the video, I will tell you which one is better according to me. So watch this video till the end. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. Let's start with the main features of the devices, that is camera. Let's start with the rear camera of the devices. M2 Pro have 48 megapixel of wide camera, 8 megapixel of telephoto camera, 5 megapixel of micro camera and 2 megapixel of depth sensor. And A21s also have quad camera setup, which have 48 megapixel of wide camera, 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera, 2 megapixel of micro camera and 2 megapixel of depth sensor. So it will call it's a tie here because both of the devices have 48 megapixel of wide camera. And about the front camera of the devices, M2 Pro have 16 megapixel of wide camera and A21s have 13 megapixel of wide camera. So the winner here is M2 Pro because of 16 megapixel of wide camera. Let's talk about the camera features of the devices. Both of the devices have LED flash, HDR and panorama. So it's a tie. And about the video recording options of the devices, M2 Pro can shoot 4K video at 30 fps, 1080p video at max 120 fps, and for slow motion it has 720p slow motion at 960 fps with gyro electronic image stabilization option. In other hand, A20s can only shoot 1080p video at 30 fps. It's a big thumb down for the device. So the winner here is M2 Pro. Moving to the performance of the devices. Let's start with the operating system and user interface of the devices. Both of the devices have Android 10 support, and M2 Pro have MIUI 11 and A21s have One UI. So I will call it a tie here because it's your personal choice which UI you like it or not. It's all up to you. Let's talk about the processor of the devices. M2 Pro have Snapdragon 720G and A21s have Exynos 850. A21s is good for day-to-day uses, but for little bit heavy uses, M2 Pro is far better than A21s because it have faster processor, and same in GPU of the devices. M2 Pro have Adreno 618 and A21s have Mali G52. Of course, the winner here is M2 Pro because it can give you more FPS in games. Let's talk about the clock speed of the devices. M2 Pro can clock at 2.3 GHz and A21s can clock at 2.0 GHz. So the winner here is M2 Pro because it has faster clock speed. Because of that, application of the devices can perform decent as compared to A21s. And about the RAM option of the devices, M2 have two options, 4 and 6 GB of variants, and A21s have 3 variants, 3, 4 and 6 GB. So the winner here is M2 Pro because it have low latency which makes the device good in multitasking. Let's talk about the internal storage of the devices. M2 Pro have 64 and 128 GB of UFS 2.1 storage options, and A21s have 32 and 64 GB of eMMC 5.1 of storage. So the winner here is M2 Pro because of UFS 2.1 have more reading and writing speed than eMMC chip. And about the external storage of the devices, both of the devices have microSD XE card slot option with dedicated slot, so it's a tie here. Moving to the display features of the devices, let's start with the display size of the devices. M2 Pro have 6.67 inches of punch hole display and A21s have 6.5 inches of punch hole at upper center of the device. So the clear winner here is M2 Pro because of bigger display size. And about the screen to body ratio of the devices, M2 Pro have 84.5% of display and A21s have 82.8% of display. So the winner here is M2 Pro because of higher ratio. In screen resolution of the devices, M2 Pro have Full HD Plus display and A21s have HD Plus display. So the winner here is M2 Pro because of higher resolution. And about the display type of the devices, M2 Pro have IPS LCD with HDR10 support, but A21s have TFT display. So the winner here is M2 Pro because IPS LCD have better color production and better viewing angle. Moving to the body of the devices, let's start with the thickness of the devices. M2 Pro have 8.8 mm of thickness and A21s have 8.9 mm of thickness. So it will be a tie here because both of the devices have approx the same thickness. Let's talk about the weight of the devices. M2 Pro have 209 grams of weight and A21s have 192 grams of weight. So the winner here is A21s because of lighter body. For the protection of the devices, M2 Pro have Gorilla Glass 5 and A21s does not have any protective glass on it. So the winner here is M2 Pro. Let's talk about the build quality of the devices. M2 Pro have glass bag with plastic frame and A21s have plastic bag with plastic frame. So without a doubt the winner here is M2 Pro because of glass bag. And about the SIM option of the devices. Both of the devices support dual SIM support. So it's a tie here. Moving to some of the important features of the devices. Let's start with the fingerprint scanner of the devices. M2 Pro have side mounted fingerprint scanner and A21s have real mounted fingerprint scanner. So I will call it a tie here because it's up to you which placement scanner you like. And about the sensors of the devices. Both of the devices have accelerometer, gyroscope, proximity sensor and compass. So it's a tie. Let's talk about the juices of the devices. Both of the devices have 5000 mAh of lithium polymer battery. So again it's a tie here. And about the charging speed of the devices. M2 Pro have 33 watts of fast charging and A21s have 15 watts of fast charging. So the clear winner here is M2 Pro because of fast charging. Let's talk about the loudspeaker of the devices. Both of the devices have normal speakers. So it's a tie. And about the headphone jack of the devices. Both of the devices have 3.5 mm of headphone jack. So again it's a tie here. Moving to the communication chips in the devices. Let's start with the wireless chips in the devices. Both of the devices have Wi-Fi AC, dual band Wi-Fi, hotspot and Wi-Fi direct. So it's a tie. And again in the Bluetooth of the devices. Both of the devices have 5th generation of Bluetooth. So it's a tie here. Let's talk about the GPS of the devices. Both of the devices have AGPS, GLONASS, Galileo and BDS. So it's a tie here. And about the USB port of the devices. Both of the devices have 2nd generation of Type-C connector. But M2 Pro have USB OTG support. So M2 Pro is the winner here. Moving to the price of the devices. In international market, M2 Pro starts from $200 and A21s starts from $210. And in Indian market, M2 Pro starts from 14,000 rupees and A21s starts from 16,500 rupees. The conclusion of the video is, in camera the winner is M2 Pro. In performance the winner is again M2 Pro. In display the winner is M2 Pro. In the body segment it's M2 Pro. In features of the devices it's a tie. In communication chips again it's a tie. And about the prices the winner is M2 Pro. So the decision is totally yours which device you like the most so far. And let me know in the comment below what do you think which one is better device for you. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you like our content please like our video. Share this video and subscribe to our channel. Comment what's your thoughts in the comment below. If you are watching this video on Facebook please like our page Tech Dad. And if you want to me follow on Instagram, here's my Instagram ID on the screen. This is Anjali and I will see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.